our Raid 2 inspired kitchen fight scene.
There's some Hong Kong for you though. The double
Oh yeah,
beer bottle break.
this is our
There's the Raid.
yeah. This is our Eco Yuwa Ketchup Arif Ramen inspiration right here.
Yep. Got him.
Got him. So what'd you think, man? What'd you think? How do we do?
Yeah, I like it. Now, overall, I thought the energy was great. The concept is fun. The one thing that I will be honest that and maybe this happens later,
Yeah.
but that I was looking for, because you set up, because you put on the gloves and the kind of the body armor, it would be fun. Like, you know, it's all about storytelling, setups, and payoffs, right? So what are we setting up to pay off later? Now I don't, because it looks like it's halfway through.
Yep.
But if at some point that body armor comes in later, during the course of a fight where some guy like tries to punch you and hits that and it's like, my hand, or you can use it to like, if you have the padded gloves and you punch harder than him. It's kind of if you set up that narrative, if you set that up, to pay that off is, important. So that's what I was waiting for, truthfully. Is like, okay, you're wearing this armor. How does that, and he's wearing a t-shirt, how does that become a useful part of the fight and part of the storytelling? It just makes it adds a layer to the texture of the fight.
No, I like that.
That's again for early days, like this is a really good, that's a strong debut. If that's your directorial debut, that's strong. And again, it's, and there was one bit there around like where I think it was like when you guys were doing the standoff and there was like a low, it looked like he hit you in the groin.
Yeah.
But I couldn't see it.
You caught it.
The counter was blocking it.
You caught it.
Well, I caught it. I caught it because of your reaction.
Yeah.
But it would be, if that's an important piece, it might be, future projects to cover that. If you want people to see it, maybe give yourself the options where you can see that impact, because then you might feel that more. Like I saw it and I felt it and I go, I think he hit him in the groin, but for whatever reason, my brain wanted to see it.
Yeah.
Because, there's a balance. If you're purposefully hiding it and you're just using sound or, and someone's imagination to fill in the blanks, that's one, that's a strong storytelling tool. But the other is to make sure in your coverage, if you want someone to feel that pain, show it. Like you show that, show the impact at the close up of the face, and then you can pop back wide to let it settle. And then don't forget the reaction of the other guy to his success.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, and this would be truthfully one of my critiques almost of the Raid, was that to me, action is musical, and it's like any kind of artistic expression. There's ebbs and flows, there's ups and downs, and there's punctuation if you're talking about it in terms of writing. So you want to make sure to have the pauses and the check-ins with the characters to see how they're feeling, because if it just becomes a bunch of moods during the course of the fight, you get lost. And this is something Chad Stahelski has said, and absolutely correct, is that name 5 moves in a row, 5 sequential moves from any martial arts movie that you've seen probably 100 times. My guess is you probably couldn't do that. To just name that just in memory. But what you will remember is those character moments. People remember, like, from The Matrix, what do they remember? They remember like this bit, like the little that bit. That's what they remember. Or bullet time, like that one moment. They're remembering moments, character or story moments within the action. So just make sure when you're designing this stuff that you, in any action sequence, no matter how short or how long, you have at least one that people can remember for whatever reason. Like, truthfully, what do people and I loved a lot of it, but what do people remember the most from the Winter Soldier Causeway fight? The little knife flip that James came up with, just pull it out and flip it through his fingers. Like, people remember that stuff. Is that Is that a big choreography move? No, it's a character defining move of how comfortable this guy is with a knife. Or the big, they remember the big knee that I did that smashed James into the car. That's a
Yep.
big move. The fight moves, there's only so many ways you can kick, punch, and throw somebody, but
Yep.
it's how you do it, why you do it, and what is the character experiencing during that moment that I think people remember. So, like the great moves, great all that stuff. The only two critiques would be, if you're going to set up something like that, and it could be that's my interpretation, and you just picked it because it looked cool. Also fine. But like for me, to think about the action or what you're wearing or doing from another layer, another perspective, and how can you utilize the environment or your wardrobe or whatever you have and tell a story or add to the story you're telling with those elements, then you're kind of taking it to the next level.
Wow. I'm thinking to myself, I should have brought my notebook, but luckily this is being recorded here, so I can rewatch it later. But no, I really like the idea of almost developing a character out of the wardrobe. That's something that is super unique, and you definitely do that in your film. So that's something I'm definitely gonna take note of and think about. And then definitely those explosive moves are what people remember. It's that, like you said, the big knee, or in Raid 2, how we mimic the standoff. Just the standoff is a huge role.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right. Those are really good things to think about. And man, I'm glad I did this because I appreciate that advice, man. I'm definitely going to take that to heart and, find ways to implement that into future scenes I'm doing for sure. Thank you, man.
Great. You're very welcome. My pleasure. Thanks for sharing those. Those are great. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you were able to check it out. I figured it'd be better than having you repeat yourself on something that you've already had to do a review for,
I love it. That's very creative. I'm glad because I love that stuff. I mean, I could go on, that's me watching it, one time and catching things. I could watch it, you could go back and study it and go slow and break it down,
Yeah.
piece by piece. And again, anything that I say truthfully should be taken with a grain of salt because it is an opinion.
Yeah.
It may be an opinion based on years of experience and doing things, a way of having success or, at least in some people's eyes with that method. But still, that's what makes art so interesting and so unique. And it's subjective because some people who, love Rob Roy, may not love the way that they do fights in, from what's the swashbuckling style of Errol Flynn. Like that, it's just different.
Yep.
I don't think you could say one is right and one is wrong, just like Jason Bourne versus John Wick, like the way they shot it. It's not like, I don't think it's right and wrong. Now, for certain action fans, being able to see the action is important. And for me, that's been important in my career. So is it right? No, but you might be like, my experience says people enjoy that. But then, still the Bourne series is one of my favorite action movie series of all time. So,
Yep.
And there's a certain, so how do you say one's right and wrong? You can't. But so the point is, what I'm saying, if it's useful for you, great. If it's not, let it go because it's just one person's opinion.
Yep, absolutely. Like you're kind of saying, everyone's kind of got opinions. Obviously, I'm going to value yours a little bit higher than most because you do have such an extensive background. But I'm definitely going to take note of those things and just think about it moving forward and just find ways to, I'm sure I'll be doing something at some point. I'm going to be like, you know what? I remember Sam said this, and I bet you if we did this, it would look so much cooler, So you've kind of just planted that little seed, and whether I use it or not is up to me. But I do appreciate that, man. That's really awesome.
You're very welcome.
So